Hi guys, welcome back. Now, hopefully you've remembered and understood the major pentatonic. Now we're going to talk about the minor pentatonic. Okay, so again, it's like a minor scale, but just with 5 notes. So instead of the 7 notes, we've got 5 notes. Now, we very much could learn minor pentatonic based on the numbers and everything else from the major scale, okay? But we're not going to do that. Okay, and there's a very good reason for that. It's simply because we're going to do it based on the minor scale instead. Okay, because the minor scale will give us the formula that we need to alter the major scale to become minor. And then it makes a lot of sense taking the minor scale and taking 5 notes out of the minor scale to create the minor pentatonic. Because then when it comes to relating the two, especially on the guitar, you can switch quite comfortably between minor and minor pentatonic. You're very rarely on the guitar going to want to be switching between the major scale and the minor pentatonic in a flash, okay? And that's why we do it like this, okay? So, first things first, we're going to come over here and we're going to, instead of doing the D major scale, we're going to write out the D minor scale and then work out the D minor pentatonic, okay? So, let's do this, shall we? The D minor scale. First things first, we need the formula for minor scale, don't we? Now, we have done this. This is back in the Essentials course. So if you don't remember this, then go back to that Essentials course and go through it. But essentially, the formula for the D minor scale, which I'll write up in the blue here, will be the root, the second, then we're going to flatten the third, which should be relatively obvious because we always flatten the third for minor. Then we've got the fourth and the fifth, exactly as they are. Then we've got flat 6, and flat 7 before coming back to the root note again. Okay? Flat 6 and flat 7. So these 3 notes have been altered and will create our D minor scale. So let's write it out. So the root note is still D. The second is still E. The third, instead of being F sharp, we're going to flatten that. So if you flatten F sharp, you get just simply F. Nice and simple. The 4 is G. The 5 is A still. When we come over to the 6, instead of 6, we've got flattened 6. So that's going to become a B flat, okay, because we've just taken the B and flatten it. And then the same with the C sharp, we need to flatten that as well. So that will become a C, and then we're back to D, okay? So, using a formula we previously learned that you should hopefully remember, if not, this is a good chance to recap it. We've converted our major scale into our minor scale, okay? Now, we've got one more step, okay? From this, we can now create our minor pentatonic, okay? So let's just come over here and do exactly that. So I'm going to come here and put minor pentatonic, okay? Now, the numbers that I give you here for this formula are very much going to be based on kind of this, okay? But however, when we learn this formula, it has to have the right parts in it. I'll go through it and I'll tell you exactly what I mean. The minor pentatonic has got the 1, the flat third. It's then got the 4, the 5, the flat 7, and then back to the 1 again, okay? So, that's your formula, okay? Now, like I said before, you absolutely could just simply take that formula, apply it to this, and you get exactly the same answer. Exactly the same answer. However, I always like doing it like this first because it reminds you that the minor pentatonic is very much based on the minor scale. Okay? So when you're looking at alterations, yeah, it's a massive alteration. If you take the flat third and the flat 7 from here, that's a big change. Okay? However, if you take these notes from here, where you can see we've already got the flat third and the flat 7, you see you're just literally picking 5 notes from a minor scale, and that gives you the minor pentatonic, okay? Hopefully that makes sense to you guys, and I think the point at which it will make real sense is when you are playing the minor pentatonic and then you learn the full scale based on that, which is something we go through in great detail in the guitar skills section, where we're actually kind of playing through some solos. So let's have a look what we've got. So we've got the root, which is D, okay? We've got the flattened third, so the flattened third is F, okay? The third is F sharp, but the flattened third is F. We've got the 4, which is G. We've got the 5, which is A. We've got the flat 7, okay? Again, on our minor scale, the flat 7 is C, and then the root note is back to D, okay? So those notes put together are your minor pentatonic notes, okay? So try this. If you put the D, F, G, A, C, and D together on the fretboard anywhere, you'll be playing the minor pentatonic. But just so you kind of recognize this with the shape, I'd again highly recommend playing the first 2 notes on the E string, the second 2 notes on the A string, and the third 2 notes on the D string to give you a more typical pentatonic shape, okay? So, hopefully you're keeping up with this, guys, and it's not all getting a little bit too confusing. Essentially, all we've done is taken the major scale, taken 5 notes from it to do the major pentatonic, then we've taken the minor scale and taken 5 notes from that to create the minor pentatonic, okay? And you need to remember these formulas, okay? That's how you're going to always be able to comfortably create the major and the minor pentatonic.